Hey guys, it's Kelsey. Today we're going to be looking at the Alabama All-State Lyrical Etude. We're just going to go through it and work out some trouble spots. Alright, let's get started. First, let's direct our eyes to the beginning of the excerpt. Our time signature is 3/4 in the key of G minor, playing at a tempo of 68 beats per minute. Let's also take a look at our vocabulary. At the top, you'll notice the word adagio, which means performed in slow tempo. Under the top line, you'll also see the word dolcissimo, which translates to very sweet, soft, or with tender emotion. Now I want to take a look at the very first beat of the piece. This rhythm is a dotted 8/16 figure. It is very important that you start off strong and nail this rhythm. If you're having trouble with this, think of the phrase day to day. It should be easy to remember as you should be practicing this on a day-to-day basis. Think day to day to day to day. Moving along, there are several instances in this piece where you have a slur from a lower note to an octave higher or above. Sometimes it can be difficult to slur these notes and hit correct pitch while maintaining good intonation. To help with this, it is sometimes beneficial to practice starting on the bottom note and slurring to a higher note than the note written. This way, when you revert back to the note written, it seems more achievable. Also, it is helpful to be very familiar with the way your embouchure feels on the higher note, so when you slur up to it, you can adjust your embouchure accordingly. Next, I'd like to look at the measures of 16th notes. Notice we first have a measure of staccato 16th notes leading into a measure of slurred 16th notes. Since this is a slower piece, I feel it is very important to practice with a metronome to ensure that you don't rush through these measures. Practice these measures thoroughly to make sure each individual note is heard. Also, we need to be aware of how we are placing our fingers on the keys. Make sure that the fingers are rounded over the keys so it's easier to move them quickly. If the fingers are flat, you are unable to move them as efficiently. Also, make sure you keep your fingers rested on the keys even when the key isn't being used. This way, you are more prepared when the time comes to use that key. Keeping the fingers risen above the keys can make things more difficult, especially in faster passages. To finish out, let's talk about measure 15. Here you notice we have a C to D trill, which can be played using the first trill key. It is important to remember that the grace notes are just embellishments and are not the most important part of the piece. Start out playing without them and add them in when you feel comfortable with all the notes and rhythms. Looking at the piece as a whole, keep in mind the small crescendos and decrescendos throughout. These will play an important role in the moving musicality of the piece. I hope you found this video helpful. Happy practicing. Here's the full excerpt.